Are you ready for some football? Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Oakland Raiders. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Hey, I'm coming.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Jones. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Airing this one out for Evans. And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Out of the pistol to give to Jones. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. From the shotgun, Wilson. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Lucky. You got nothing in there.
Hey, empty. Undercross. 6-5-7.
From the 30 on second down, Wentz toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
Out routes are always timing routes, and if the timing's off just a little bit, it can really throw off a play. It looked like he led him a little too much there.
Yeah, there was a fraction of a second because he caught it, just couldn't stay in bounds. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3.
5-7.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
46 down, man, 5-4.
From the gun, it's Wentz. That's going to be caught by Samuel. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's a give to Bell. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
This 5-7. Here we go.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Completes it to Samuel. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
1st and 10 at the 29.
I got you.
That's right, 57.
52's the mark, boys. 52.
On first down, Wentz. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And now it's 2nd down.
Go. 180.
They can't hang with us.
Sunday. Hey, Haywood.
Throwing is Wentz. Open man is Samuel, complete. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they're left looking at 3rd and 8 after the 2nd down pass play only went for 2.
It's 74.
45's the mark.
Now Wentz again. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And he's into the clear. Past the 20. 10. And it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And following the pick 6, and they had decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So line of scrimmage still to 39 on 2nd and 10. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Got his target, Samuel. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Wentz now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Wentz, a screen to Bell. And some room to run now. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On 2nd down, it's Bell. Now Bell hit. He lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Now Wentz. Flush to his right. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight.
Now a give, right side. Redmond, and only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Hey, Echo.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Check.
Wentz now on 3rd and goal. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Vita Vea breaking through to get the sack.
That's quite a stand there defensively. A huge sack on 3rd down, and that's going to force him into a field goal attempt.
And Gonzalez puts this one through. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted.
But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Ronald Jones, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs get the quick strike touchdown. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 17-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Now a give, right side. Redmond. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 14.
Hey, Delta.
That's right, baby.
Wentz going to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Wentz now to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6 as his guys are back within a single score. Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And it's up through the goalposts. It's 17-10. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watched that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. Not every chance at all. Way easier said than...
And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't
would do
even know
them?
why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point right down the middle, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
You're trailing, you're trying to get points late in half. I absolutely understand that. But remember, it's all about the ball. And without the ball, you can't get those points. They just turned it over.
Now you got to be careful because that deficit can get a little bigger on the other side with that good field position they just took over with. After the interception, here's Wilson. Letting one go deep for the end zone. Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. from the gun, it's Wilson. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Watch the screen.
On second down and 4, Wilson. That is caught at the 7-yard line. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. They'll try to run it in with Jones. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the third quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. To throw, it's Wentz. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Throwing deep for Galladay. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, it's Jones. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a third down. Here's Wilson. He's got Evans. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
Let's go, D. Check three, check three, check three.
12.
Check nickel.
Now a first down carry by Jones. Gary and Conley the one to bring him down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
They'll go again to Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Get in the weight room. 36. Rush in.
They go play action now. Wilson. Airing this one out for Evans. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Jones. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout. Appears we've got an injured Buccaneer. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Let's put that team on the bus.
Play action. Now Wilson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 36. Matthews. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he's going to have another first out as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 20-yard line.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go. And let's see who's faster.
A first down carry for Matthews. And he lost the football. We'll call it luck or skill, whatever the case is. They're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Play action. It's Wilson. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the 3's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the 3 is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
You think you gonna get this? You think you gonna get this?
Sunday.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wentz taking a shot for Samuel. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 13. And some room to work. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. Wentz now on first down. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Throwing is Wentz.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
The Raiders on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Wentz. This is caught. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
Here we go.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. And my goodness, another interception. Able to get there and pick it. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and it's a pick 6. He brings it back to the house for a Buccaneer TD. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. A tackle almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Open man is Galladay, complete. The 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. Now Jones. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. After the run by Jones, here's first and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, he's going to go for it all. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people.
And now here is another interception. Picked off near the 42. Always got some breathing room. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this? It got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So the big play gets him across midfield now for first and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. He'll get this one to Galladay. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
All day, just like that. Just like that.
From the red zone now, Wentz. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Now Wentz. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vita Vea able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. Wentz going to go on 4th down. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. We you know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. So long, everybody.